Thanks. Hi, good afternoon, everybody, and thanks a lot for having me. It's a great pleasure to be back on the stage again. And my name is Aziz, and I have the pleasure to introduce you, first of all, Siemens Energy. We're an integrated energy technology company that is operating across the whole energy value chain, very much centered around low to zero emission power generation, which means hydrogen-ready gas turbines, but also a large wind portfolio, but then also really the transport and the storage of energy, and last but not least, reducing the CO2 footprint of industrial processes and also the energy consumption. And with that, we're operating basically across the globe, represented in 90 plus countries. And my fun fact usually is that 1/6 of the world's electricity generation is based on our technology. And with that, obviously, there is still 5/6 to go, so our job's not done yet. And Siemens Energy Ventures is the official ventures arm of Siemens Energy, and we're operating in 3 distinct streams. We build ventures, which means that we're training the entrepreneurial muscle of our own employees, and also get ventures ready for spin-outs. So 1 or 2 spin-outs per year is what we're basically aiming for. And that basically leads me to the other stream, which is us investing in ventures, and while the spin-offs also move to our venture capital portfolio, we're co-investing with partners in the market. And with our investments, I'll tell a little bit more later, but here we're taking a classic position as a minority shareholder in startups. And last but not least, we're also piloting ventures, which means that sometimes we don't need to necessarily own a share in a company in order to be able to use their solutions. And here, our venture clienting track is there to help us to tap into cutting-edge startup solutions, and with that, understanding a lot better of how we can basically also be a good customer to startups, and with that, building up supplier relationships with startups. And how that goes, I can maybe show you in a short example of what we did with our venture clienting track. So over the last 1.5 years, we've been piloting roughly 20 startup solutions, and 10, actually 11 of those are now in an adoption phase, which means that we initiated a pilot based on a problem statement across the business, and based on the outcome, but also the business case potential of that collaboration, that pilot moves into adoption, meaning that we either develop a customer-supplier relationship, or if the topic is of strategic importance to us, it can basically move into our M&A funnel. The specific focus areas for us here are around autonomous operations, automation of our factories, but then also areas like cybersecurity are quite crucial for us. And to maybe give you one example of a pilot that moves into adoption now is a company called Anybotics. Here, together with our customer Vattenfall in Berlin, we did basically replace a daily scheduled inspection with this ground robot that is basically run by our very own navigation system, so that it knows exactly about the mission, what to look for, what to read, and what to process. And then the robot basically collects the data, and in a difficult environment where obviously also human beings can get to harm, and in the future of low-manned operations for power plants, a solution like that is very much crucial, basically, for us to tap into in order to enhance also our capabilities to enable autonomous operations. And with our venture capital activities here, we're investing in early but also growth stage companies. And the key point for us really is about the amount of collaboration that we can build with companies. And we're talking really about bringing in our core competencies when it comes to engineering, when it comes to manufacturing, when it comes to opening markets. We're really focusing on soft factors like networks, but really also tangible things where we can help the startup to hit the next stage for commercialization and scale. To give you maybe also an example around that, our portfolio company Geopura in UK is providing green electricity as a service based on their hydrogen power units, and just recently closed an investment round here with the company where we participated. And what we basically do as Siemens Energy here is we built the manufacturing line for the company, assemble these hydrogen power units, which consist of power electronics, fuel cells, batteries, and a containerized solution. And with that, do basic engineering, design engineering to improve the next generation of this product, plus also help them to localize their production in other markets like North America, where they would like to also to tap into. And additionally, since the manufacturing side is on our side in UK and a lot of the engineering is also happening there, large parts of the company are also actually sitting with us in our offices, so that we can basically also decrease the burden of not being at the same spot. And with that, we hopefully can basically show and prove that we're just more than capital. It's really about the core competencies, about the infrastructure that Siemens has been building over the past decades that we can now leverage in order to help these founders to hit the next stage. And with that, super happy to engage in conversations around either working with Siemens Energy in the venture clienting space, or possibly co-investing or investing in startups. So in that regard, thank you very much for having me. Wishing everybody a great afternoon, and hopefully see you next year.